everybody, I'm Diedrichson. Welcome to Pokemon FireRed. Wanted to go back all the way back to the first generation, so I thought, what better game than FireRed? Well, let's get into it. This is a very short game. I wouldn't want to say short, but compared to the other games, this is very short. There's not a lot of story in it. It's just very basic, very lackluster, I guess. But it was the first game, so we can forgive it. Right here is just the tutorial part. It's just teaching you what to do. I'll probably skip it, but this game, I prefer FireRed over to any other game, especially Let's Go. Let's Go is just Pokemon Go. I don't really like the Pokemon Go mechanics, but welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for battle. As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. But first, tell me a little about yourself. Well, now tell me, are you a boy or a girl? I am a boy. I usually like playing as what the character is named within the game, so that will be... That'll be Red. Obviously, the character is named after colors, FireRed. And in America, it would be a rival who is green, but I'm gonna name him Blue, just because I like blue better. He's been your rival since you both were babies. What was his name now? We're not gonna name him Green or Gary. Like I said, I want to go with the Japanese name of Blue. Or was it Blue? Yes, that's right. I remember now. His name is Blue. Look, I know how everyone makes fun of how Professor Oak can't remember his grandson's name, but I actually do remember. There's like some sort of condition where it's unable to recognize faces, and if you can't recognize a face, you can't recognize the name. I don't know. Maybe Professor Oak has it. We start off in our room here. I think this is an SNES? Red played with the NES. Okay, it's time to go. I was close enough. SNES, NES, same thing. Actually, I want to check something first. I don't have the ability to run yet, I just realized. It's gonna take a while before we have the ability to run. What would you like to do? I believe there is an item in here. Yes, there's one potion. Something I always like to do before every game. There's always gonna be a potion in there. And let's go down. Right, all boys leave home someday. It said so on TV. Yes, Professor Oak next door was looking for you. There's a movie on TV. 4 boys are walking on railroad tracks. I better go too. I believe that's a reference to The Outsiders? I'm not sure. Alright, let's start off with this. I believe the first thing you're supposed to go is... here. I just want to check out the city before we move anything. I don't really do that in a lot of games. Hi, Red. My brother Blue is out at Grandpa's lab. Well, to the lab we shall not go because I'm a disobedient child. My mom did not raise me right. Hey, wait! Don't go out! It's unsafe. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. Fine, I guess I will come with you. This is basically kidnapping. I don't know this old guy. Graham, I'm fed up with waiting. Blue, let me think. Oh, that's right. I told you to come. Just wait. Here, Red. There are 3 Pokemon here. The Pokemon are held inside these Pokeballs. When I was young, I was a serious Pokemon trainer. But now in my old age, I have only these 3 left. Here, you can have one. Go on, choose. Hey, Graham, so fair. What about me? Be patient, Blue. You can have one too. Well, we have our 3 starter Pokemon over here. Rather than just picking one, I'd like to tell you what you can get through the 3 of them. First up is Bulbasaur. The first starter is the Grass-type starter, and is the only one that starts out with its secondary typing, the Poison type. With that, you know what your weaknesses will be throughout the entire game. Each starter specializes in 2 stats, and in Bulbasaur's case, he specializes in Special Attack and Special Defense, but is super slow in return. The main reason you want to use Bulbasaur is because he sleeps and sweeps. Early in the game, he gains access to Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, and Razor Leaf. You put the opponent to sleep, Leech Seed it for healing, and attack for chip damage. This leads to longer fights as he really isn't the type to be a speedy sweeper, but is super reliable in doing this strategy, and you can often find yourself leading out with him and setting up for the long run. The only downside to this is that Sleep Powder isn't a 100 accurate move, and if you miss, you're gonna have to waste 2 turns setting up instead of 1, and you can get a lot of damage dealt to you in that way. The second choice is Squirtle. Squirtle is the water type starter in this generation and will remain a water type throughout the entire game. This means you will keep the same weakness throughout the entire game, which is arguably its biggest strength. In its final form, it will specialize in defense and special defense, which complements its very few weaknesses, making it extremely bulky for a water type. The downside is that it has very limited move compatibility, meaning it'll usually only learn water and normal type moves with limited coverage moves. It being a pure water type means that there are many options to choose from to form a team around it. A solid pick in my opinion. And the last one is Charmander. He's the popular choice, but Charmander, he will specialize in special attack and speed. With the stat distribution, you will often find yourself dealing mass amount of damage and not being able to take a lot of hits in return. When it evolves into its final form, it'll gain a flying type, which adds a quad weakness to rock and a weakness to electric, but grants immunity to ground. Another challenge presented with choosing Charmander is that the first 2 gyms have a type advantage over it, so you'll need to find another partner to complement him early on. If you want the challenge though, pick this guy. With that in mind, we have gone through the 3 choices, and the choice I think I want to make is... let's go with Bulbasaur. I've always been a very good fan of Bulbasaur. I love him. Pokemon is quite energetic. Receive the Bulbasaur from Professor Oak. Do you want to give it a nickname? Yes, I've had a nickname in mind for a while. I'm going to name it, barely fit, Bulbapedia. Not only does it just make sense, but it's also what I used to research this game for all the stats and trainers and all that. So it's a good, helpful resource for me. So in honor of it, I'm going to name my Bulbasaur Bulbapedia. Now your rival, he's going to take the starter that is strong against yours. So he's going to pick Charmander. And now we just run off, never thanking Professor Oak. Wait, Red. Let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. And we have a first rival battle against Blue. This will be a common trend. We're going to see him a lot. This will not be the first one, but this one just here is used as a tutorial of how battles work, I guess. And he's going to send out his Charmander, that's level 5. Oh, for Pete's sake, so pushy as always. Red, you've never had a Pokemon battle before, have you? Pokemon battle is when trainers pit their Pokemon against others. The trainer that makes the other trainer's Pokemon faint by lowering their HP to 0 wins. But rather than talking about it, you'll learn more from experience. Try battling and see for yourself. So Charmander, I believe, is going to have Scratch and Growl. I'll put the other movesets on the side if you didn't pick Bulbasaur, just so you know what they have, but it's just Charmander, so. Inflicting damage on the foe is the key to any battle. Thank you for saying. He's going to use Scratch. Doesn't matter whether you win this or not. If you do win it, it's just extra experience, but the game will progress as normal if you lose. Just praying that I don't get a crit. Seems like I'm doing more damage with him, which I'm kind of surprised I'm outspeeding a Charmander. That's very questionable. I think I must have a plus speed feature. I don't know. 4, but we're probably gonna get this done. And Charmander's out. This first fight here is really just spamming your only attacking move, as you're probably gonna win that way. And we're already level 6 with the funny sex number as my experience points. Player defeated rival Blue. Thank you. What? Unbelievable. I picked the wrong Pokemon. Although if you pick Squirtle, you'd be at an even bigger type of damage, but... excellent. If you win, you earn prize money, and your Pokemon will grow. Battle other trainers and make your Pokemon strong. Okay, I'll make my Pokemon battle the toughen it up. Red, Gramps, smell you later. That has never been a fan favorite quote of mine. Red, raise your young Pokemon by making it battle. It has to battle for it to grow. Oh, so that's all you're going to tell me? That last Pokemon will be unused for the rest of the journey. Poor Squirtle. Now, it doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do next, but what you're supposed to go next is just progress through the game normally. Look, I copied what it said on one of those trainer tip signs. Trainer tips. Press start to open the menu. Well, we have our menu here. We have our Pokemon that we can access, our bag that we can access, which we have that potion, our save, and our trainer card. Our trainer card is just going to tell us, how much time we have on this game, money spent, name, and the number of badges you have. Go into the back and sign it, but we don't really have a reason to do it. There's no online features for the Game Boy anymore, and we are on to Route 1. Pallet Town between Viridian City. That is the next time we're gonna go to is Viridian. Hi, I work at a Pokemart. It's part of a convenient chain selling all sorts of items. Please visit us in Viridian. I'll give you a sample. And we get another potion by talking to this guy. Now, I'm going to be covering all Pokemon for bios, but right now, because we don't have Pokeballs, I'm not going to go over the route encounters that we have here because, well, it wouldn't make sense because you can't catch and you can't raise it. But we do have a Pidgey here. I'm going to do a little bit of training here. I do want to get to a decent level. Level 6, just losing another week. You won't be seeing a lot of route encounters once we get access to things like repels. Repels just basically make it so that you can't go into wild encounters if they're low level. So, but for these first few early ones, because we have none of that and we're on the first route, I might as well just show them. There's no harm. And is there anything over here? No. Okay. We're gonna just keep going. A lot of big Pokemon. There's only a couple Pokemon actually over here, but we're not gonna go over them yet, like I said. What you want to do, the first thing you do in Viridian City is find the Pokemart, which is right here. Hey, you came from Pallet Town. I did. You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can I get you to take it to him? You will see the Oak's Parcel. This is what you want to do before you explore the city. And you have to go and take it back. So it's a lot of backtracking. I know the first thing this game makes you do is backtrack, and we can't run, so it's very, very horrible. Ugh. I just want the running shoes already. I'm probably going to cut this out. I don't really have anything to say here. We're just backtracking. And back in Pallet Town, we're going to head to Professor Oak's lab so we can deliver this to him. I've always wondered, what does his assistant say? Oh, Red, how's my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to be growing more attached to you. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What's that? You have something for me? Ah, it's the custom Pokeball. I had it on order. Thank you. Ramps. I almost forgot. What did you call me in for? Oh, right. I have a request for YouTube. On the desk there is my invention, the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Red and blue. Take these with you. And we're going to receive the Pokédex. You can't get detailed data on Pokemon by just seeing them. You must catch them to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon. And we have received 5 Pokeballs. There we go. When a wild Pokemon appears, it's fair game. Just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. This won't always work, however. A healthy Pokemon can escape. You have to be lucky. To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream. But I'm too old. I just can't get the job done. So I want you two to fulfill the dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. Alright, Gramps, leave it all to me. Red, hate to say it, but it won't be necessary for this. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one, Red. Don't bother coming around to my place after this. Well, I'm gonna be hitting up your sister for a different reason. Little did you know. No, I actually want a town map for myself. Does she just give me one, or do I have to actually go into it? I believe I have to just go into it. God asked you to run an errand? Gee, that's lazy of him. They do not respect their grandpa whatsoever. And we got the town map. With the town map, all it takes is just a little press of a button. Actually, we have to go to... Nope, not Pokemon. What am I doing? We have to go into the bag and then select the town map. The town map looks like this. So first of all, we're going to be heading to Viridian City and then further up into Pewter City. That's what we're going to be. Actually, I don't want to register. We're not going to be looking at the town map too much. If you do want to heal your Pokemon, you can heal it at your mom's house. Other than that, there's nothing else to say. Now we can get on to the game. Now that we're done with the majority of the tutorials. And starting with the route encounters. Pidgey. Pidgey is an okay Pokemon. It's an early game bird. There's a bird not too far up that I'd recommend over this. In its final form, it becomes speedy and has great mixed attacks with a wide range of moves it can possibly use. The real complaint in using this is that it's completely outclassed by other flying types. There's a bunch of other flying types that are really good, have better typing, and just, I prefer to use them over that. But Pidgey isn't a bad Pokemon in itself. It's just outclassed. The other Pokemon you can find on this route that we haven't seen yet is Rattata. This Pokemon is okay in the early game because it evolves decently early with some good moves. But as the game moves on those stats, it can't keep up. The main reason you would want to try Rattata is because of Guts. A 50% attack increase plus quick attack is a deadly combo. I would not recommend this for late game though, as those moves eventually fall behind just like everything else with it. And with that, that is all the Pokemon on the route encounters, on Route 1. I'm going to be doing this for every single route and every single Pokemon. Obviously, if there's a new Pokemon on a new route, I'll go over it, but if there's an old Pokemon on a new route, I won't be going over it because, well, we've already seen it. And also, while I was doing that, Bulbapedia learned Leech Seed. Leech Seed is what I was talking about in its bio. It'll take a turn to seed the opponent, and then it'll gain health from it. It'll steal HP and use it towards its own. It's a very good early game move, especially self-healing this early on when you're level 7. This Rattata over here, actually. How did you survive 3 hits? I'm 4 levels higher than you. There we go. Rattata is very good in Nuzlocke, I would say. You know, because of that Guts plus Hyper Fang. Hyper Fang does half damage no matter what. Even if it's like 2 HP, it'll do 1. But if it's at like 50 HP, it'll do 25. It's very good, especially Guts plus Quick Attack, as I mentioned. But I won't be using it on my team. I already have my team of 6 planned out, by the way, so if you wanted me to use certain Pokemon, I might use it. I don't really mind using popular Pokemon, but I want to show off Pokemon that I like that not a lot of people use. They make all Pokemon completely healthy. Okay. There's a Pokemon Center in every town ahead. They charge no money, so don't be shy about healing Pokemon. Free healthcare! Please feel free to use that PC in the corner. The receptionist told me so. It's so kind of her. Well, while we're here, let's go over the PC. The PC is something that you can use to store Pokemon, and if you have a full party of 6, they'll be sent here. You want to hit someone's PC, yeah, it's kind of weird, but you can withdraw, you can deposit. I like to just go straight up to move, because you can deposit and withdraw. If you only have 1 Pokemon in your party, it won't let you deposit, because, you know, you're required to have at least 1 Pokemon. Moving forward, though, the next goal would be to, I want to catch at least 10 Pokemon before moving on, it's pretty far, but I'm going to try and catch 10 Pokemon along the journey, just so I can have access to something way later in the game. But as of right now, we've made it to Viridian City. I feel like this is a good stopping point. So next time on Pokemon FireRed, we will be checking out Viridian City, what it has to offer, and everything around it. See you guys then.